Hi, gang. Bob Boving with you for the Mystery Project. And tonight, the first half of a two-part Peggy Delaney story by James W. Nichol. Carlos is stuck having to make hard decisions about his life. During this, Peggy is left out of the loop, unable to do anything but worry. Her friend Bernie proposes a short trip to take her mind off things. Bernie and his new partner Michael have invested in a house in the country. Peggy and Amber agree to spend the weekend helping with the renovations. The play is called Home Again, starring Kyra Harper.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, socialist, cop hater, cop lover, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, or anything else that strikes your fancy, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
Hi. My lawyer just called to say Julie's lawyer confirmed our meeting for this afternoon. Royal Bank Plaza, 28th floor, Suite 2000. If you can make it.
Hi, Bernie. You busy?
Busy? Yes. Rich? No. You'd think those two things would go together, but they don't. You ever notice that?
Oh. What?
Nothing. So, I'm all ears. How did things go yesterday?
Just the way they were supposed to, I guess. Carlos had already agreed that Julie would get custody of Laura. So they just made it official. Signed all these documents.
Uh-huh.
Which means, of course, Julie is now free to move down to Halifax with her boyfriend and take Laura with her. Carlos gets reasonable access. It was awful, watching him sign. His eyes teared up. Even Julie had to look away.
Laura's only 6. He's trying to do what's best for her. He doesn't want her caught in the middle of some huge fight.
I know. And, well, he was trapped. He didn't have $15,000 or $20,000 to fight Julie. And he probably would have lost anyway. She is Laura's mom, after all. And she's a good mom.
And he's a super dad. He sees Laura all the time.
Yeah, well, not anymore. He didn't say anything all the way home. Didn't say anything at supper. By the time we went to bed, I couldn't stand it any longer. Hey, Harpo. He was the Marx brother who never spoke.
Oh, right.
Are you just going to sit there all night, or are you coming to bed?
Coming to bed.
Carlos.
Uh-huh.
I've been thinking.
What?
Well, you know how you were saying that you'd try to get down to Halifax to see Laura every couple of months?
Yeah?
It won't happen. When I left Amber with her dad, headed to Toronto to work, I had every intention of flying back to Vancouver every 2 weeks. Well, every 2 weeks became every other month, became every 6 months. And I lost my connection to her for a long time.
What are you saying?
You could move down there.
Peggy.
I'm sure you could find work with the Halifax police or some private company. That way you could see Laura anytime you wanted. And she wouldn't forget who her real dad is.
What about us?
Lots of people have long-distance relationships. You could fly up here, I could fly down there.
You just said, even starting with the best of intentions, long-distance relationships don't work.
Not for a child and parent. Maybe for us. I just want you to do what feels right for you.
Thanks. I don't even know my own name right now, let alone exactly how I'm feeling. I feel torn.
I know.
I just need some time to decide what to do.
Okay.
Carlos is thinking about moving down to Halifax.
I suggested it. He's thinking about it.
Really?
I don't want him thinking he has to stay here just for me. Can you imagine what that would be like?
Uh-huh.
He has to choose to stay here because he wants to.
Is it a test?
No. I'm not asking him to love Laura less or me more. It's just... Oh, I don't know, Bernie.
So you're what? Waiting for Carlos's decision?
Yeah.
Must be tough.
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing.
What's Carlos doing?
Working.
The whole weekend?
Mm-hmm.
So he won't have time to decide much of anything?
No.
Michael and I are going up to that country house he bought. We're renovating. Now, I can't promise he won't put you to work, but you want to come?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, it'll do you good. Get out of the city, fresh air, lots of trees. What's Amber doing?
I could ask her.
Well, let's do it. The four of us. It'll be fun.
I feel ripped off. The Blue Mountains are not blue.
Come on, they can't be blue all the time.
On clear days, just as the sun goes down, the snow turns this soft blue color.
I've seen that.
Sounds pretty.
Do you ski, Amber?
A little bit.
Why don't all of you go skiing tomorrow? I'll strip wallpaper.
Not this cowboy. I get nervous on escalators.
Ditto for me. I might make a snowman if it's not too cold.
Snowmen are good. We can all make snowmen, including you, Michael. Enough with the wallpaper already.
Speaking of snow, it's snowing again.
Yep. Not to worry. 4-wheel drive. And it's not far now. We'll be at the house just before dark.
Wait till you see it. It looks like the Three Bears house. It's in the woods. It's tall and narrow. And I think it's kind of listing, Michael.
My country estate listing? I don't think so.
It looks like it might be listing.
That house has been standing there since the early 1900s. If it was going to fall over, it would have done it long ago. It's frozen in time.
What do we need to pick up? You guys have enough groceries in the back to feed an army.
Refrigerated food.
Yeah, Michael has this thing about food going bad.
I'll get the cold cuts. You get eggs, butter, milk, cheese.
It's only, what, a 3-hour drive up here?
Yeah, but it's an SUV. It doesn't have a separate trunk. So if we heat the car, we heat the groceries.
Look at what I found. Pullover with Blue Mountains on it, and they're blue. I should buy it.
You should look at the price.
$34.95. It's fleece lined, nice and warm.
This is Hilda, Peggy, and Amber.
Hi.
Hi.
Hilda's family have had this general store since, 18-something?
1887. But I was just a little girl then.
Yes.
I always say that.
Well, it's lovely here. It's a bit isolated, maybe.
There used to be a garage on that other corner, but it burned down 3 years ago.
Well, lots of snow.
Hello there.
Ben, Peggy, and Amber.
Hi.
Hi.
You folks going into Michael's place, are you?
That's right, for the weekend.
What are you going to do in there?
I'm not sure.
Nothing. Not this weekend. I gotta go get eggs.
Nice boys.
Uh-huh.
Michael's been fixing that old house up for months.
Yeah, so we understand.
You're not from here, then?
No.
Bernie's new to this area, too.
Yes, I know.
It's really pretty up here.
It can be. I better see what the boys are up to.
Well, it's snowing again.
What'd you think of Ben and Hilda?
They seem friendly.
Hilda was nice. Even after I changed my mind about buying that pullover.
They didn't bore you with their life stories, did they?
No. This really is a woods, isn't it?
Not all of it. It's been logged. And some raving optimist cleared a few stony acres years ago, hoping to farm. Built a barn by the house.
And speaking of barns, there it is now. And just past it, see? That's Michael's house.
just put your bags in here, our guest room. You guys can freshen up for supper.
Thanks, Michael.
Could have carried them.
No problem. Light switch is right beside you, Amber.
Oh, it's large.
It's the master bedroom.
Oh,
Bernie and I thought it'd be nice for guests to have a little sitting area, too.
love the iron bed.
It's cozy. But it's not very big. That's the problem with antique beds. People must have been so small.
What's that light?
Where?
I don't know. There's just a light flickering out in the dark somewhere.
Well, let's see.
There it is again.
Oh, I see it. It's over by the barn, isn't it?
It looks like. Uh-huh. I never noticed that before.
Kind of flickers off and on.
Well, you two unpack, settle in. Bernie and I are cooking up a little shrimp pasta for supper.
Sounds good.
I'll just check on that light.
What are you doing?
Frying shrimp? What do you mean? This is your supper.
What can I do?
You, my dear, can grate up some cheese. The grater's in that cupboard, above the fridge. Hey, it's really coming down.
Yeah, it is. Right.
So, what was it?
The light.
Oh, nothing. There's an old window in the barn. It just got loose. It was swinging in the wind, reflecting the lights from the house.
Oh.
I latched it shut again.
It seemed bright for just a reflection.
It did, didn't it? Well, that's the thing about the country at night. Distances, sounds, lights can all be deceptive.
I can't see a thing out this kitchen window. Where are all the street lights?
Back in Toronto.
I've been thinking of putting in an acorn fireplace right in that corner.
Good idea. We could be sitting here roasting chestnuts.
Every home in the country should have a fireplace. Bernie, would you like a little more wine?
No, I'm fine.
Amber?
She's fine, too.
Mom, he asked me. Two's my limit, Michael, but thanks.
You're welcome. To tell the truth, I've been feeling a little awkward this evening, drinking in front of you, Peggy.
Hasn't stopped you.
Even though Bernie assured me it doesn't bother you.
Oh, it doesn't.
Well, I just felt I should ask, despite Bernie's assurances.
Mom's been, not drinking for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been really peaceful.
Has it?
Well, no.
I admire anyone who can just take charge of a problem. It takes a lot of courage.
And a lot of ginger ale.
And coffee and cigarettes.
But you have to keep struggling, don't you? It doesn't just go away. It's still there, all the time. Well, how do you like my house?
It's terrific.
I think it has a lot of character.
Yeah. Well, character. Yeah, it's two characters anyway, doesn't it, Bernie?
Yeah, and this character has decided to take it easy this weekend. No renovations. Everything can wait until next weekend. Right?
Someone was killed in this house.
Pardon?
Well, that's what Hilda and Ben told me. A long time ago. Some man.
You never told me that.
I'm telling you now. I thought now was a good time. The house full of people. I know you're a bit squeamish.
Squeamish? How could you not tell me?
Killed, meaning murdered?
That's the story, anyway. Who knows if it's true?
How was he murdered?
I have no idea. Ben and Hilda didn't say.
How many years ago?
Oh, a long time ago, Bernie. 20 years or so, I think.
Oh, yeah? Well, great.
Boy, is it ever dark outside?
Come on. Turn off the lamp. Get into bed. I'm cold. I need somebody to cuddle.
We haven't slept together since I was like 3. You don't snore, do you?
If I do, I've never heard it.
That was a weird story Michael told. About that man.
Uh-huh. long time ago, though. Try not to think about it.
Yeah, right. I wonder if he was killed in this room.
Amber.
Michael was pretty sloshed by the end of the evening, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Poor Bernie. He got awful quiet. For Bernie.
I think he was upset Michael hadn't told him that story long before now. And it's not much fun watching the person you love get drunk.
No.
Come on, sweetie. Let's try to get some sleep.
I can't see a thing in here. Can you see anything?
My eyes are closed.
It is really dark. Why would Michael want to buy this place anyway? I wonder if he heard that story about the man before or after he bought it. Do you think you'll be able to get to sleep?
I'm trying.
The light that was reflecting from the barn, it's not there now.
Good.
I cannot see a thing. And this pillow is lumpy. What do you think Carlos is doing right now?
Sleeping.
Hey, I never realized how nice it was to have an automatic dishwasher until I started coming up here.
Pass that pot.
They'll be done soon.
It's the wages of sin. You should do dishes after every meal like my mother used to. Don't let last night's dishes, then breakfast dishes, and lunch dishes all pile up.
What's Michael doing now?
Now, he's scraping old wallpaper off the back hall. There's some left in the small bedroom, too. He wants it all off. Before that, he was tearing a wall out of a closet.
Wow. Does he ever sleep?
Yeah, once in a while. That was quite the story last night, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Why he would choose that moment to come out with that story, I don't know. I would never have invited you two up here if I'd known about that man. I'm sorry.
Well, at least it didn't happen yesterday.
I don't even know whether I want to come up here anymore.
Who was restless last night?
We kept hearing footsteps going by our door, up and down the hall.
That was Michael. He was checking the doors, making sure they were locked, several times. He's always talking about fixing this place up so we can fill it with friends. So I thought if I invited you up, you could see the house doesn't have to be perfect to enjoy.
Stopped snowing just now, so I'm going to nip into Thornbury and pick up the steamer.
Why can't you stop for one weekend?
I will, but not yet.
What's a steamer?
That's a wallpaper thing.
It makes steam for taking off miserable old glued down wallpaper. It's like a big square iron. You hold it against the wallpaper, it melts the glue, and then like magic, the wallpaper strips off.
Theoretically. I thought the steamer was rented out this weekend.
Not anymore. I just called the hardware store. Whoever had it brought it back. I'll see you, Bernie. Everybody, I'll be back soon.
It's been snowing off and on since yesterday. Will he be able to get out of the lane?
Probably. If it gets really bad, we call Ben. He comes in with his snowblower.
There he goes.
You sure I shouldn't call Ben? Okay. But it's starting to snow out here again. Real hard. Hurry, will you? Bye.
So, where is he?
Still in Thornbury. Apparently he got it wrong. The steamer hadn't been returned after all. But it's supposed to be soon. Well, he's waiting for it.
The man's obsessed.
Yeah.
It's really snowing now.
What time is it?
10 after 5.
It's getting pretty dark.
I still think I should call Ben. Oh, that piano's sick, Amber. Half the keys don't work.
Oh?
Did Michael buy it?
No, it came with the place. Everything else Michael's bought. No, I bought some things, too. That's been the fun part. Going to auctions, local shops.
Oh, trouble there.
I'm going to call Michael again. Tell him to forget that stupid steamer. We're going to play board games and just talk and have fun for the rest of the weekend.
Honey, what are you doing?
Just opening up the top of the piano to see what's wrong.
I wouldn't. Maybe there's a raccoon in there.
He's not answering. I'm calling on his cell and he's not answering.
Well, maybe he left it in the car.
No, he was in the hardware store a few minutes ago. He had it with him.
I know what's wrong.
What?
Something's in here. It looks like scrapbooks. There. See? 3 scrapbooks. They were lying on the strings.
My God, buried treasures. Wonder why Michael didn't find those. He said he checked the piano all over.
This one's full of drawings.
So's this one. Someone liked to draw fantastical creatures.
I've got women with fairy wings and a 6-legged horse and castles.
And beautiful young men with flowing hair.
Wings on their shoulders, wings on their feet.
And, there's some old newspaper clippings in this one.
Let me see. They're not that old. 1982.
Look at that photograph. It
looks just like this house.
What? Let me see. Oh, my God.
The police are still searching for clues in the horrific murder of Todd Bryant that took place sometime during the night of August 21st. Mr. Bryant was alone in his house when he was attacked and bludgeoned to death in his bed.
Oh.
Look at this photograph. Isn't that the bedroom that we're using?
Yeah.
Mr. Bryant's body was discovered the next morning when his brother Alfred drove home the victim's son, 16-year-old Michael Bryant.
Michael?
Who had been staying in Thornbury for the past 2 weeks with his uncle and aunt and his cousin Teresa. Alfred Bryant said he knew as soon as he drove up that something was wrong because the front door of the house was open and the family dog was running in and out of the doorway.
Oh, that can't be my Michael. His last name is Castle. Michael Castle.
The police still suspect robbery was the motive, as the house was turned upside down, and it was well known that Mr. Bryant was secretary-treasurer of his church and kept the Sunday collection in his home over...
Oh, wait, the piano was here first. Maybe Michael just never looked inside.
But you said he'd checked it all over. Anyone would look inside.
Well, not necessarily.
The family dog's interesting. The man was killed in his bed, but the dog was running loose.
So?
Well, why didn't the dog bark and wake the man up?
I don't know.
There's lights coming up the lane. See?
Is that Michael?
How could it be Michael? I just talked to him. He was still in Thornbury. It's half an hour away.
Maybe it's Ben coming in to clear the lane.
I don't think so. He has an old tractor. It does look like Michael's car.
Whoever it is, he's not coming up to the house.
No, he stopped. In front of the barn.
Maybe it is Michael. Maybe he was just teasing you. He was on his way home when you called.
Then why didn't he answer when I called him the second time?
Look, there's that same light.
What light?
In the barn, see it flickering? That's the same light that Michael went to check out last night.
Maybe the window's come loose again. He's stopping to fix it. Except...
it's moving. We can all see it, right?
Yeah. It's moving through the barn.
And that's why it flickers. We're seeing it...
through the spaces between the old boards.
Who's out there?
I don't know. Okay. I'll go out. See what's going on.
I'll go with you, Bernie.
You're not leaving me.
That's Michael's car.
His headlights are still on.
He's not inside. Michael! Michael!
I think there's tracks. See? Leading from the car into the barn.
Yeah. Michael! Michael! What's he doing in there? Michael?
Can you see anything?
Yeah, a little from the headlights. Michael, where are you?
It smells moldy in here.
Yeah, there's an old hayloft above us.
Bernie, what's that? by the cement thing.
Oh, God.
Michael? Oh, Michael. Michael! Look at his poor head. He's dead.
Just heard part 1 of Home Again, Home Again, our Peggy Delaney story for this week by James W. Nichol. In the cast today, Kyra Harper was Peggy, Katerina Scarsone was Amber, John Stalker was Bernie, George Booza was Detective Carlos Szabo. With them were Ben Carlson as Michael, William McFadden as Ben, and Joan Gregson as Hilda. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka and performed by Ray Parker, Kevin McKenzie, Rick Whitelaw, and Scott Alexander. The recording engineer was Wayne Richards, with sound effects by Matt Wilcott. The associate producer was Colleen Woods. Production and direction were by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. Next time on the rough road to the completion of Home Again, you'll hear...
We found tracks in the snow behind the barn.
Oh?
There's an old wooden ladder there, nailed to the wall. It leads up to a granary on the loft. And an unlatched door.
Then that's how whoever had that light got into the barn, how he got away.
Maybe, or perhaps those tracks were set up to look that way.
There was someone else in that barn.
Any idea who?
No. Where did the tracks lead?
Nowhere. Snow had covered them.
And this will lead to more questions before you get the answers. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening.